I'm Jessica FORE. Thank you all so much for coming out to celebrate David Strickland's birthday. Woo! This one's called Jekyll and Hyde. Dr. Jekyll, I'm in love with you, ruined for any other, and I've given you my promise to be your permanent lover. And so much joy I anticipate, but on the day I'm a bride, I say I do to Dr. Jekyll and go to bed with Mr. Hyde. Ooh, ooh. Don't wanna let this wound fester. I'd rather take you on a joyride on the back of my Vespa and find a way to redeem our love out in the isolated countryside. Not thinking I'd fall in the clutches of the dastardly Mr. Hyde. Hyde, ooh, ooh, Mr. Hyde is coming after me with a furious vengeance. I've seen his talent for cruelty and other sinister penchants. So we struggle in the black night. There's broken glass and bloody speckle. Then Mr. Hyde is standing over me, saying I have murdered Dr. Jekyll. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Let's see. I wrote a bunch of nerdy songs about psychology and relationships. This one's called 3 Ex-Wives and Your Mama. First ex-wife, a romantic intellectual with golden curls and everything. I saw you dancing in the rain, found all her letters mailed from England to Sir J. You'd embody her dreams and you'd put her on a pedestal and let her keep her wedding rings if she would satisfy your needs and heal your pain. But you blamed her when the chasm still remained. So she had an affair, you said, with a recovering crackhead you were trying to straighten out. And friends who assumed it true were ready to stand by you and run her out of town. She couldn't say she was sorry, she wouldn't work it out in therapy. She just took off and left you bloody. While your mama said, poor baby, poor baby, poor baby. Ooh. second ex-wife was an esoteric artist who seemed to share your bright ideals. 115 and 5'6" in heels, saving her love for you, believing yours was real. Or seduce a songwriter if you are a narcissist. You'll get lots of songs about you. After the seeming perfect dream you weave falls through, when it's time to ruin ex-wife number 2. 'Cause she had a violent streak and knocked you into next week one night when she was drunk. Or seizing your chance to strike, you carried on like a record with the needle stuck. She couldn't say she was sorry, she wouldn't work it out in therapy. She just took off and left you bloody. Well, your mama said, poor baby, poor baby, poor baby. Hey, Conquest 3 seems to me you're truly lovely, full of grace and kind and just, ready to take the leap and trust. I wish you'd compare your notes with all the rest of us. Heed the warning signs and hang on to your money before you're snared by his demands. And his family's so relieved to have him off their hands, until the awful day they come to understand. Perhaps 3 or 4 years in, when your egregious sins are finally brought to light, that despite all his selfless love, he is the victim of another evil wife. Who couldn't say she was sorry, who wouldn't work it out in therapy, who just took off and left you bloody. While your mama said, poor baby, poor baby, poor baby. Thanks. So in the time since that's a little bit better. In the time since I've had a couple of gigs out in Athens, I've had my eyes go bad twice. So I'm sitting up here blind, trying to figure it out, but that's all right. So let's see. Those 2 songs were about my ex-husband. He was great. So after I got out of that relationship, hallelujah, my next relationship was with a rechargeable electronic device that I wrote a love song for. It's called Robot Slave. It's about my Roomba. Get your minds out of the gutter. All right. Here we go. I am in possession of a robot slave. He does my heavy labor as he sweeps my floors. I'm a friendly and accommodating overlord in exploitation of my robot slave. And he doesn't talk back to me. I've named him for the Jetsons family robot Rosie. My robot is non-binary. Robot slave, how I love my little robot slave. anthropomorphic to reciprocate my affection for my robot slave. And as I ponder theology, like Calvinism or simulation theory, I'm freaking out now existentially. 'Cause robot slaves, what if we're like that as human beings? Like, dude, that's deep in stuff. Do we have autonomy, or are we just ingenious machines? I have grown suspicious of my robot slave. He seems to be rebelling, acting on his own. He's becoming self-aware and plans to seize my throne and subjugate me as a robot slave. And now he's keeping me as his pet. But I'll be damned if I am giving up yet. I'm gonna stage a coup and get that motherboard wet. Robot slave, I don't wanna be a robot slave. Vive la resistance, all you freedom fighters, opposing the vindictive and depraved. Robot slaves, it turns out the song does not resolve. It doesn't. Thank you all so much. Okay, we tune because the strings are new, and we tune because we care. All right. How's everybody doing? You guys having a good night? Very, very good. Let's see. So, some of y'all might know me through politics more than music because I ran for Congress a couple of times. But before that, the first way that I kind of cut my teeth on politics was confronting a patriarchal church denomination about enabling abuse and domestic violence. And I wrote a song about patriarchal women in that context, and it's called Lady of Vapors. Lady of vapors, clutcher of blues, cannot access the things which are locked. Unconsciously knowing your fragile world has been built on the boat that I rock. I did not mean to do it, I tried to be a part of your gleaming cathedral with all of my heart, till expelled on explosions, truth punched in the gut, where you still walk on eggshells and keep your mouth shut. The results of a union no one can foretell, with men who think they rule before God. Some wives live in the 50s, and some live in hell, till we talk and disrupt your facade. Are you fomenting betrayals and maintaining lies for a life of homemaking and free craft supplies? Or does your very soul tremble when I name abuse, knowing your own resistance has been of no use? object of such ire. And I watch from afar as you deny your burns, throwing brands from a church that's on fire. And I watch it implode as the fit hits the shan, and the most recent victims go back in the pan. Your toilets even explode like some Egyptian plague, and still nobody says maybe we should renege. Lady of vapors, clutcher of pearls. Lady of vapors, clutcher of pearls. Lady of vapors, clutcher of pearls. Thanks, y'all. Let's see, this is one that I wrote a long time ago when I thought I was leaving Athens after college, but I came back. How many people tried to leave Athens and ended up coming back? Anybody? Didn't like being gone? This is called Saying Goodbye. This is where our roads divide. My direction is becoming clear. I am running out of time to drink things in before I leave them here. And it's so cold on the outside when the earth moves and the season passes by. You say stay, but I'm already saying goodbye. I can't leave this shelter, standing on my own 2 feet and smile. But sometimes I feel fragile, so hold me here for just a little while. I'll carry this sweet remembrance, and someday I will know the reason why I finally get a foothold, when suddenly I'm saying goodbye. And I can feel the questions rise about digging in my heels to try to stay, but complacency denies the need for faith, and I can't live that way, 'cause I've chosen this reckless surrender to this lover that my spirit won't defy. And destiny is let's see. This one is based on Song of Solomon. It's called Altogether Lovely. Place where we can be alone, satisfy my craving, how I long for you. Well, you move me like no other. I will be here waiting breathlessly till I catch your fragrance coming over me. You've said you won't waste your time chasing after other lovers. You've saved yourself for only me. Yourself for me, you are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely, altogether lovely. Lead me in the garden, in a private place where we can be alone. Satisfy my craving, how I long for you. Well, you move me like no other. I will be here waiting breathlessly till I catch your fragrance coming over me. You've said you won't waste your time chasing after other lovers. You've saved yourself for only me. You saved yourself for me. You are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely, altogether lovely. And my heart is ravished, darling, with one look of your eyes. There your love above all others, so much sweeter than wine. And my heart is ravished, darling, with one look of your eyes. There your love above all others, so much sweeter than wine. You are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely. You are altogether lovely, altogether lovely. Yeah. You're altogether lovely. Yeah. Altogether lovely. Yeah. altogether lovely. Thanks, y'all. All right, y'all feel like a cowboy song? Yeehaw! This one's a true story about a real cowboy who has imposter syndrome. This is a real guy that I know online. He's got a ranch in Arkansas, and he's literally a cattle rancher, and he goes out and does cowboy things. And I was like, it's nice to know a real cowboy. He said, oh, I'm not a real cowboy. So I had to write a song about it. Hang on, but it's a new song. I think this is the first time I've done it live. So I need a cheat sheet, but I can't see it, so screw it. It's nice to be friends with an actual cowboy. I said to a rancher who trained in Montana, who rides a fine quarter horse when he's tracking his cattle, and he looks like a bandit in his COVID bandana, but the cowboy confided inside he still feels other better cowboys are the ones who are real. He's an imposter cowboy in wide open spaces and home on the range. Just an imposter cowboy who shoots like Clint Eastwood and rides like John Wayne. Tells the truth from beneath the Sam Elliott mustache, and he's been known to stand up for the interests of damsels, and he can lead the herd gently with sense and discretion. He can rope your bull if you're all hat and no cattle, but despite all the honor and good that he fosters, he still sees himself as a cowboy imposter. He's an imposter cowboy in wide open spaces and home on the range. Just an imposter cowboy who shoots like Clint Eastwood and rides like John Wayne. Self-perception can be such a booger on the self-doubting side of the old Dunning-Kruger, where the posers declare themselves to be the masters, while the real deal says, why can't I tie that steer faster? Yeah, he's an imposter cowboy in wide open spaces and home on the range. Just an imposter cowboy who shoots like Clint Eastwood and rides like John Wayne. Thank you. Let's see, this one's not mine. Any Gillian Welch fans? No Gillian Welch fans. Okay, great. I don't have to apologize in advance for butchering it. All right. Well, I kissed you 'cause I've never been an angel. I learned to say hosannas on my knees, but they kicked me out out of Sunday school when I was 9, and the sister said I did just as I pleased. Even so, I try to be a good girl. It's only what I want that makes me weak. I had no desire to be a child of sin, and you went and pressed your whiskers to my cheek. Fi-da-la-la, fi-da-la-lee, oh, let me go, my honey, oh, back to Tennessee. It's beefsteak when I'm working, and whiskey when I'm dry, sweet heaven when I die. Now I tried drinking rye and gambling, dancing with damnation is a ball. But of all the little ways I find to hurt myself, you might be my favorite one of all. Oh, fi-da-la-la, fi-da-la-lee, oh, let me go, my honey, oh, back to Tennessee. It's beefsteak when I'm working, and whiskey when I'm dry, sweet heaven when I die. Now why can't I go and live the life of Riley? Why can't I go back home to apple pie? Your affront to my virtue was a touch too much, but you left a little twinkle in my eye. Fi-da-la-la, fi-da-la-lee, oh, let me go, my honey, oh, back to Tennessee. It's beefsteak when I'm working, whiskey when I'm dry, sweet heaven when I die. It's beefsteak when I'm working, whiskey when I'm dry, sweet heaven when I die. Well, it's beefsteak when I'm working, whiskey when I'm dry, sweet heaven when I die. Thank you. This is one that I wrote. It has references to Joss Whedon characters in it. And it's about loving somebody with a dual personality until you realize that they don't love you and it can't keep going on. It's called Fred and Illyria. eyes fly away on the words that you said, and dream recklessly vulnerable dreams of a handsome young son coming in from green fields rimmed with clover and wisteria. And that you're not simply mimicking ruined ideals like Fred and Illyria. The horizon's on fire, and the flood's getting higher. Now we're down to the wire. You're such a comforting liar, that I'm gonna get quiet and lean on your chest till the minute we run out of time, and let my soul move with each rise and fall of your breath, as though your soul were moved by mine. What reluctance to bear the whole weight of the truth, and what glorious delirium, just to spend these last moments here lying with you.
Yeah!
Like Fred and Illyria. Thank y'all. You guys getting excited about Larry's homework coming up here in a minute?
Yeah!
Yes!
Homework.
Woo!
I want to do Larry's homework.
Let's see, where's our birthday boy? I can't see a thing. There he is.
Where?
David.
I'm blind if you can't see us.
I know. I think we probably need to sing happy birthday to David. What do y'all think?
Yeah!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Woo! And many more. Let's see, I got time for one more? All right. Okay, so when I went and confronted the Presbyterian Church in America for all of their abuse and domestic violence problems, I ran it all the way to the floor of their National General Assembly and made them bring it to the floor with like a bunch of low-quality, misogynistic dude bros fighting me all the way the whole time. And these are the same guys that are now, you know, like following Doug Wilson and trying to take over the federal government to legislate their opinions as law on women's bodies and the rest of us. So they all kind of suck. So I wrote them a song. Yeah. And I'm going to make you wait for the chorus for the title because it's a little bit long. The short title is Weak Ass Man. The expanded version you'll get to in a minute. And this is the first time doing it live. Yes. There's a certain kind of bro who needs to a glad hand with the boys club and the Stepford wives at church. Friend of the broken, defender of the low. Until he needs to stand up to his homies, then he leaves you in the lurch. And the Bible tells him women ought to know their place. And it was such a relief when he saw the light, that he's a miserable sinner in need of grace, who's always, always right. He's right. Are you a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man? Do you really want to be standing in those shoes when the reckoning that's coming gets handed down? 'Cause one day we'll all stand before Jesus, watching everything fall that we built on shifting sand. Have you been a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man? If you're sympathetic, even losing sleep about how you've regretfully enabled many obvious wrongs, but the cost of rectifying a damn thing is too steep to the eminent position that you love to belong. And so you throw your institution's victims under the bus. And if we don't knuckle under and put up with it, then you think that the real victim's you, not us. When you get called out on your shit, oh, your shit, then you might be a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man. Do you really want to be standing in those shoes when the reckoning that's coming gets handed down? Now one day we'll all stand before Jesus, watching everything fall that we built on shifting sand. Well, have you been a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man? Well, you say some of us are saints and some of us are sinners, but some of y'all are snakes and some of us are dinner, and it rarely keeps the snakes out of the promotion line. And I can write composite characters based on observations of your bullshit Robert's Rules, hand-wringing machinations. If you think the song's about you, then you probably need to grow a spine. Yeah, grow a spine, because you might be a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man. Do you really want to be standing in those shoes when the reckoning that's coming gets handed down? And one day we'll all stand before Jesus, watching everything fall that we built on shifting sand. Well, have you been a weak ass, double-minded, wishy-washy, scaredy, sorry, creepy, crony, feckless man? Thank you all so much. Thank you. We did it. I'm Jessica FORE, that's FORE. There's a tip jar, there's a QR code for Venmo if you don't have any cash. We're cashless. And yeah, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Thank you, David, and thank you, Troy, and thank you, Seth, running sound, and everybody working tonight. And y'all, Larry's homework is going to be up here in just a minute. Let's give it up for them. Woo! Thank you.
Jessica FORE, everybody. Give it up one more time. I took her from somewhere to nowhere. She's a great voice. What do you think? Should we bring her back sometime? Yeah! All right. Larry's homework coming right up. Give us about 15 minutes. Tip your bartenders. Get something to drink. Enjoy.